Hey guys, Pastor Troy here from the St. Pierre Bible Fellowship Church. Just wanted to say we've been really encouraged by how our community has been responding this past week to the crisis. There's just so many people looking for ways to help, looking for ways to encourage, and that's really, really cool to see, because what tends to happen in times of crisis is people just start looking and thinking about themselves. There's kind of this inward turning, this self-preservation that happens, where you just think about yourself and not really anybody else. And so anytime there's a crisis in the world, you can just you can know that there's going to be all sorts of selfishness, all sorts of exploitation that come out of that. And so that's something we have to resist, and it's something we're seeing that's happening around the world, right? With various scams that are coming out of this, or people who aren't following government recommendations and they're going to large gatherings and parties. I mean, that's a form of selfishness. They're not considering how that might affect more vulnerable people, or people hoarding unnecessarily, and or trying to hoard and then resell for a profit. That's exploitation and selfishness, thinking about yourself. And actually, it reminds me, we had somebody come to the church and donate to our hampers a whole pack of toilet paper. Now that's selfless love, if there ever was such a thing. So we couldn't believe it. But anyways, in crisis, there's never a shortage of people looking out for themselves. But that's not how Jesus taught us to live, right? So in Philippians 2, I want to share this with you. It says in verse 3 and 4, "Don't do anything out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but to the interests of others." So I want to encourage us today. I want to challenge us today. What's one thing you can do to put the interests of somebody else above yourself? So what's one thing you can do today to help somebody else? Could be just a small encouragement. Could be letting somebody know that you're praying for them. Could be thanking a healthcare worker. They're on the front lines of this thing, or maybe offering to do a grocery run for somebody who's vulnerable. Or if you know somebody who's living alone and having to just ride this whole situation out by themselves, let them know they're not alone. What's one thing you can do today to put the interests of somebody else ahead of your own? And what you'll find that happens when you do that is when you focus on helping others, you yourself actually are helped by that too, because it takes your mind off your own cycles of inward looking and anxieties and fears. Because as we're stuck indoors, it actually can be really easy to become stuck in our own heads too, right? So you start thinking and you start dwelling on your situation, and there's nothing you can actually do, so all you do is worry. And these anxieties start to cycle. But when you turn outwards, you actually break that cycle. And you find that as you comfort others, your own anxieties start to lessen. And as you care for others, all of a sudden your own cares become more manageable. And really, that's what the Bible's talking about when it says it's better to give than to receive. Because in giving, you also receive. And as you help others, you yourself are helped. So remember, even though you're locked in, you can still help out. All right, blessings and peace.